want to take a moment to begin this video and talk about this struggle we're having with this channel. It's really kind of the way that gun channels are interacting with Google and YouTube is affecting us, and it's affecting our ability to be able to produce content. So I want to take a moment and just ask you support us on Patreon, where a lot of the content we can't put here is going, and it supports this ministry. Recently, the ATF came out with a report on stolen guns, gun trafficking, that sort of thing. And it's a fascinating read. I'll put the link below, check it out. But there's one aspect of it that I think is important to understand, that if you happen to own one of these guns, there's a 65% chance that your gun's going to get stolen over anybody else that has a different gun. So that's what we're going to take a look. Well, according to the ATF, out of 500,000 stolen guns that they did this report on, 65% of those stolen guns, so you got 500,000 guns that they were examining for this particular study, 65% of them handguns. Now, not revolvers either, because revolvers got their own category. We're just talking semi-automatic handguns. So if 10 guns are stolen, 6 to 7 of them are going to be handguns, is basically how this plays out. So in other words, if you have a handgun, 65, and you're robbed, there's 65% chance you're going to get robbed versus somebody else that might have a rifle. So let's just look at all these numbers real quick, because the number one stolen gun is a handgun. It's a semi-automatic handgun. I would argue that it's not that thieves are necessarily targeting handguns as much as they are targeting cars. And when you target a car for a gun, there's probably not a rifle in there. There probably is a handgun in there. And how they're targeting these cars is they're looking for things like stickers that say protected by Smith & Wesson or protected by Glock, or has a little family of guns, NRA stickers, that sort of thing. And they go to places like arenas where you can't bring in your gun, and they're driving around, and as soon as they see that sticker, they're breaking into your car, and they're probably going to find a handgun. And that's how people are getting their guns stolen. Other things they're looking for would be like hunting stuff, and I'm guilty of that, of leaving like blaze orange vests and camouflage stuff in my truck, and they look for that. When they see it, they break into that car. Now, I argue that it's not that they're targeting handguns. It's just handguns are the easiest ones to steal, is what I would argue. Most guns that are stolen in the U.S. come out of cars, so they're going to be handguns. 65%, followed by rifles at 15%. So there's a huge drop. You go from 65% to 15% is the next most stolen. Rifles, 10 being revolvers, 10%. So if you put revolvers with handguns, it's really 75% of guns stolen are actual handguns, semi-automatic and revolvers, when you put those two together. Then you have 6% shotguns, like 2% lower receivers, a bunch of other stuff, firearms, undisclosed firearms, that sort of thing. All of them will equal 100%. So ultimately what you have, and this is where you got to be cautious, is that, number one, don't leave your gun in the car. Don't leave your gun in the car. A lot of states now have passed laws starting in January. You're going to be in a lot of trouble to get your gun stolen out of your car. Colorado, California, New Jersey, New York, Washington, Oregon, Illinois, you're in trouble if your gun gets stolen out of your car. And 65% of those stolen guns are handguns. So I share this with you not to say that you're more targeted if you have a handgun than if you have a rifle. What I'm sharing with you this information is to stop getting your guns stolen. For the love of guns, stop getting your guns stolen. If and I understand there's times where you have no choice. You have to leave that gun in the car. Lock it away. We have safes in our cars. I highly recommend getting a mobile safe, something that's mounted to the structure of the car. You just leave your handgun in there, you're good to go. At the very least, lock it in your glove box. But right now, 65% of guns stolen, they're pistols. They're handguns, non-revolvers. 75% of guns stolen are all handguns, including revolvers. So, just secure your firearms. Be wise about it. As for me, my gun is either on me or in a safe 100% of the time, and that's how we need to be. So there you go, man. 65% of guns stolen, they're handguns, semi-automatic. 75% of guns stolen, throw in the revolvers. Any thoughts or insight on any of this, definitely put it below. I do want to take a moment and say most people watch the channel, hey, they're not subscribers. Click that subscribe button. Greatly increases the algorithm and our ability to get these messages out. That link is also below. But the most important part of this channel, we take prayer requests. So please don't ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, love guns.